it's the new age hustle. We get downplayed because they call us um internet producers or net producers, but at the same time you gotta understand that the internet was created for people to not be hosted by conventional means like they used to be back in the days. So you can't really hate on them for doing what they have where they have access to do.
One, two, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and NPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
What's up, Beat Grinders? This is another episode of Beats Grinding Life. I'm your host Siren, and today we got with us Yvng. Yvng is an artist, producer representing New Orleans, Louisiana. You may have heard some of his production with artists such as Ace Hood, Big Krit, Murs, French Montana, and many more. Yvng is also set to release his EP Change in the fall with the hit single Nostalgia, which just hit 1 million streams on SoundCloud. You can listen to the single on SoundCloud, iTunes, Tidal, Spotify. Yo, what's up, Yvng? How you doing, bro?
What's good, bro?
Man, nothing much, man. Just, enjoying this lovely day, man. Just happy to have you up on here, man.
No problem. Happy to be here, man.
Dope, man. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I just read a brief intro of you, man. If you want to expand for the Beat Grinders and let them know a little bit more about yourself, man, please do.
All right. Like you say, my name is Yvng. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, born and bred. I grew up around music, jazz, soul, anything you could think of that has James Brown, Anita Baker, anything like that. That's what I grew up off of. Been doing music for the better half, 15, 16 years. I grew up in the choir. I used to sing alto. So by way of church going, I already was familiar with music theory. So I was destined to be part of music anyway. Went to school went to Full Sail University for a bachelor's degree in music business and music production, and that got me in the door with Interscope.
Okay. Well, man, this may sound like a stupid question because you may have already answered it, man, but I'm just gonna ask it anyway. We got so many producers that listen to this show that are aspiring producers and that are probably thinking about going to a school like Full Sail. Can you speak on just how it may have benefited you? I mean, of course, it got you in the door with your internship, but can you speak on how else it may have helped you, the pros and cons of it?
Okay. Well, first, like I said, Full Sail, for the people that's kind of skeptical about it, because I was skeptical about it at first. Full Sail, it's kind of rocky at first because you don't start off music. You start off like you basically start at regular college with math courses and English and everything like that. And sometimes that throws people off and makes them quit before they're even ahead. But I can say this. They are very consistent with keeping in touch with their students, making sure that they're on the right path of what they're doing, anything like that. They make sure that you picking the right major, so you won't regret it in the future. Now, as far as pros and cons goes, the pros of it is that, like I said, they after you graduate, it does open a lot of doors for you. You know, once you graduate, they set you up with interviews, opportunities. Sometimes they set you up with placements. Half of my placements came from counselors and word of mouth and letter recommendations from Full Sail University.
Wow.
So that's a good thing. The cons of Full Sail is that it's not as easy as people would think, because you're going doing something you love, that you love doing. But at the same time, you love doing it, but it's difficult. Right. It's not like you thought it would be.
Right.
But at the same time, they only challenge you like that because they want you to learn everything about your field of your field of business. You know, they don't want to see you out in the world only knowing music and not knowing the business side of it, or only knowing photography or management or TV or anything like that.
Right.
And that's another reason why some people fall off, because they be like, okay, this is not what I expected, so why am I still here? Let me go to this college. This college too hard. See, that's the bad part about it. You know, you're going to do something you love and you falling off because you think it's too hard. Well, if that's the case, you know, you're never going to make it in the real world, because
Right.
they're going to be serious. They're going to eat you up and spit you back out and not even think about you twice, you know?
Yeah, man.
So,
I mean,
like, I've been there. I've been there, bro. Like, I've been to the point to where I thought I knew anything. I thought I knew everything. So when I did get to that point, it was over. I had to learn the hard way. But it was a lesson learned.
Right, man. Yeah, I mean, even though we love what we do, man, there's parts of it that we don't love, but you know, can't let that discourage us. You know, if we have an end goal, got to make sure that we get there. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, that sounds you know, really cool, and that sounds pretty dope, because I mean, at regular universities, like, it doesn't seem like there's that much interaction between the students and the counselors, and especially when you get out, they just open the door and say welcome to the real world, instead of, you know, help you get placements and help you get internships and whatever, man.
Right.
So okay, well, that's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, you know, here at Beach Grinding Life, man, we always start off the interview asking, how did you get into music production? It sounds like, you know, you said you grew up around music. Is that the reason why you got into making beats and doing music production?
Not necessarily. The reason I got into music production is because I grew up, like I said, being a lyricist. I was in a lot of rap battles, and that's what I grew up on. Like, many people don't know that, but for people that actually know that I know how to rap, they know that I can flow real well. Like, I'm very intelligent with my words.
Right.
I can say lines fluently and everything like that. So what really wanted me to get into production was I heard what's the name of that album? Public Enemies. It was when it came out, Public Enemies #1, and it was a song on there that it was a sound I never heard of, and this was the first time I was actually introduced to hip hop outside of jazz and soul.
Okay.
And when I listened to that, I was like, man, who made this? Who created? It's like this thing. I'm 10, 15 years old.
Right.
No, yeah, I'm 10, 15 years old listening to this album, and so I'm like, man, who made this? The drums I never heard no drums like that before. I never heard kicks like that before. The snares or anything. And who manipulates samples like that? Like, I didn't even know that was possible until I heard Public Enemy. So that by way of KRS-One, down to African Bombada, and all these cats, you know, I really wanted to learn sound design.
Okay.
So I did some studying and everything. Like, all through my high school year, I would get these music books on music theory. This is before I even started producing them.
Wow.
On music theory and all this stuff. And then I got into the piano, because I'm a pianist as well. I got into playing piano, and that really opened my mind up to new sounds, because piano in itself is really hard. Piano is like drummers and guitarists, because not only on are we using single extremities? We have to think at the same time while we do it. See, most people don't think it's hard. Like artists that like rappers and singers and stuff like that, they be like, oh, you just a piano player, you just a drummer and stuff like that. But they have to realize that we have to sit there, concentrate on our foot hitting the right pedal, our right hand hitting the right height. You know, it's difficult. Just like with the fingers, you know, if we play arpeggios or anything like that, or rising arpeggios on the piano, we have to concentrate on every aspect of the key as well as our own individual fingers. Because if we mess up, you know, it's hard. You know, it's heartbreaking. Yeah. And So you know, I got into production just off of hearing a Public Enemy album.
That's dope, man.
And that really got me into the hip hop boom bop nation and that era and stuff like that. Like in cassette players, boom boxes, and then the beat battles and the rap battles and everything like that, the graffiti, the art, everything hip hop, I was immersed in just because of Public Enemy. I ain't mean to talk all day, but that's why I was immersed.
Hey man, it's your interview, so you talk as long as you want, man. You express yourself the best way you know how, man. And if that means talk all day, by all means, man, talk all day. So, man, that's dope, man. Bro. I mean, you know, Fear of a Black Planet, that was a big influence on me, so I can definitely understand where you're coming from with Public Enemy and wanting to get into music, man. You also said rap battles and you being a rapper. How much of you being a rapper has given you an advantage with music production?
Well, people would listen to it, and they would. There was an expression going around a while. I don't know if it was just in the New Orleans area, in the southern area, or just worldwide or statewide. It was a thing going around that says some of the best rappers you will ever hear are the best producers, or some of the best producers you will ever hear are the best rappers, which is true. Like that's is facts, because without the producer, you know, because the producer lays down the beat and basically raps on it himself to see who he gonna shop the beat to. You know, that's what makes him great. You know, he might make a Drake beat and rap like Drake. He might make a Jay-Z beat and kind of freestyle in his head like Jay-Z. That whole creative process in itself, you know, which makes us great. Now back to answer your question about how has rapping really got me to the production with people. Basically, they, off the strength of hearing me rap, they automatically assumed that I was a producer. I never used to say I was a producer. I used to just do the music, you know. I let the music speak for itself, and everything else is gonna fall in place. You know. So I had this battle. In New Orleans. That we had this thing called the Hilario Center. I had this little battle with this guy. I forgot his name. I had a battle with him, and I don't even lie. He tore me up. He tore me out the frame. Don't even lie. We both got at each other. We both got at each other, but I was his wordplay was just too much for me. So after that, we met each other in the parking lot. We exchanged numbers, and when he called me, be like, I want to hear some of your beats. Now, I remind you, I never told this dude I was a producer or anything like that. And I asked him, what makes you think I'm a producer? And he was like, because your flow is creative. There's no way that you cannot be a producer. And you put your words together like that. There's no way. And he was my first production. He was the first person I ever made a beat for.
Really? Wow.
And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna charge that to the game. And I had stopped rapping. Like, I had stopped rapping and focused on producing. I just recently started back rapping when I met Z.
Wow.
To be honest.
Okay.
Because like I say, I had a track already in mind. I mean, I never really just stopped rapping. I still did rapping, but it was just a hobby. Producing was really the avenue I wanted to go with, that I went with. I ain't say I wanted to go with because I did it. And when I met Z, because I got with Z as a producer.
Okay.
You understand? Wow. And Z heard one of my songs. I don't know if it was by mistake or I sent it to her, but she heard one of my songs and she didn't know it was me. And when I told her it was me, she was like, "You rap too? You a lyricist?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been rapping for a long time." And that's when it came to, well, now I think you should start putting out music because you don't sound like everybody else. You know, you have this unique sound, you have these unique flows that nobody has heard of before. Not only that, but coincidentally, nobody has heard before from a rapper out of New Orleans, besides 3D Nati and all them cats. Well, I only say that 3D Nati is a female, by the way. I always say that 3D Nati is probably the hardest. I wouldn't put it in a sex category as male or female, but when it comes to just straight lyrics and bodying tracks, I would say that she is one of the hardest out in New Orleans right now.
Wow.
So, but yeah, man, when it comes to lyrics like that, they wouldn't hear it from nobody that's out of New Orleans. And like you said before, I don't sound like I'm from New Orleans.
Right. No,
that's what people get the misconception of that.
Well, you know, you really don't. I don't think your sound really has a. I couldn't tell where you're from by listening to it. I mean, because it kind of has that LA sound with the whole TDD, but it also has a New York sound. You know, you could even say Southern, you know, with like Outkast, or I mean, it just doesn't really have a origin. You know what I mean? And I mean, I think that's not a negative. I don't think.
Well, I ain't trying to cut you off, but
no, go ahead, man. We're just talking.
What's crazy about that is that the song that I did for Big Krit, he did an article interview and about the sound of the track. He was like, it sounds like a Brooklyn. The sound, he said, the sound reminded him of a native Brooklyn from the South.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You see how that kind of it makes sense, but it throws people off a little bit.
Right.
But he's like a Brooklyn native that's from the South, and the interview was like, "Well, how he's a Brooklyn native from the South?" He's like, "That's it. I don't know. I just don't know." And another funny thing about that story is that I didn't even meet Big Krit.
Wow.
This was by chance. There was a club in Mississippi called Housing Miles, and at the time, I had an ex-manager, and at the time we had went there, and they had a concert with Casey Veggies, what's that other guy name? Big Krit brother, Big Saint, and Tito Lopez.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard him yet, but Tito Lopez, that was signed to Dr. Dre at one point. I don't know what happened with that situation, but he's a dope artist as well. We had one in the back, you know, at the time we couldn't get in the back, but I was like, nah, forget that. We gotta maneuver through that. I want to see them because I want to let them hear this. So we kind of got to the back and we ran into his brother, Big Saint.
Okay.
And at the time, you know, Big Krit wasn't even in sight. So the only people we was able to get to was Casey Veggies, Big Saint, and Tito Lopez. And in Mississippi, they were gods in Mississippi.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. So Big Saint asked who I was. I told him who I was and everything like that. Mind you, I'm still an independent artist. I didn't even have, you know, a major placement or anything like that. So Big Krit, his brother asked me, well, you're a producer. Well, is there any way I can hear your sound? At that point, I was like, well, if I give him a link to a website, I don't even know if he's going to go on it.
Right.
Good thing I had a physical copy of my beats. Nice. You know, I was always prepared. So I passed that to him. This was back in 2007. What it was like, well, back in 2007. Yeah. So at that time, I I was bucked up. I was like, "Yeah, Big Krit about to hit my CD 2, 3, 4, 5 years later." No, I completely forgot about it because I didn't hear nothing from him. Back in 2014, right at the end of 2015, right? Big Krit drops this album that has I think it's Cadillactica.
Oh yeah,
where he did that song Cadillac, yeah. And on it, it's a song called "Here We Go," right? And when I listened to it, I was like, "Dude, that's the song. That's one of the beats on the CD I gave to him back in 07."
That's nuts.
People like, "Nah, I don't believe you," and I don't believe. I was like, "Dude, that's my song." And I went back on my old SoundCloud page and I pulled the beat up. And I played them side by side. When I tell you it's the exact same song, so people like, "Well, he didn't give you your producer's credits and everything like that," but he did. You know, people don't know that, but he actually gave me my producer's credits in the interview. When the interviewer asked him, "Well, who made the beat from him?" He's like, "This producer." He said, "I never met the producer. I got the beat from my brother Big Saint of a producer that passed it to him."
Nice.
So that one in itself let me know that he actually and that
dope.
made way for other placements.
Right. That's dope, man. Okay. Wow, man. Well, I think there's some lessons to be learned from here, man. Beat grinders, always be prepared. You know, like you had the CD on you. You were able to pass it off to Big Saint, and then, you know, just planting them seeds, man. I mean, you never know when you plant seeds, you never know when the plant is gonna sprout and create its fruit or vegetable, man. And hey, 10 years later, was it 7? 7 or 10?
It was 7 years later. No, it's 10 years later. 10 years, because it's 2017. It was 10 years later.
10 years later, man. You know, all of a sudden you got a placement with Big Krit, man. So, you know, just gotta be patient, especially in this game. Gotta be patient, man. So that's what's up, man. Well, thank you for sharing that story, man. Like I said, man, lessons to be learned from that, man. So, all right, man. What piece of equipment or software did you start off with when you first started making beats?
I had a MPC 1000.
Okay.
You know, with the I had the MPC 1000. I started off working with FL Studio 6.
Nice.
I believe it had more before that, but that's what I started off working with. And at the time, you know, MPCs, you didn't really need software for MPCs at the time. You can really just make the beat off of the equipment itself.
Right, yeah,
but
it's a standalone.
You can integrate it with the program if you want to. It's just gradually, like till this day, I still use the MPC because it still has that original feel to it, you know.
Right, yeah, it does.
I can really, if I want to go back to, you know, really manipulating a sample like I want to, like, you know, you got producers that manipulate samples in FL Studio, but it's not really the same as doing it physically.
Right.
You know, you got the control wheel and everything like that. You could change the tempo. It's a different feel when you actually doing it yourself and actually seeing it. I mean, you can see it in FL Studio, but it's just the feel of it is more natural to me.
Right.
So yeah. Now I'm forever be a MPC fan, an Akai fan forever.
Dope, man. Dope.
That's never gonna change.
Yeah, I definitely understand, man. I mean, I didn't start off with the MPC, but I've had an MPC in my lifetime, very early in my production career, and yeah, man, there's nothing like it. Like you said, turning that wheel and just feeling. It's almost like you're feeling yourself manipulating the sound, you know. So
right,
I definitely understand, man. Okay, man. Well, who were some of the producers that inspired you when you were coming up, when you first started making beats?
Well, if we go back when. It would have to be, let's see. Dang, they got so many. But if I could say the first one, it'd have to be Night Wonder and Knots.
Okay.
It'd have to be, because like I said, at the time of the era when I really wanted to start rapping, like New York, like I wanted to be like them at one point. I
Right.
was listening to this group from Carolina. I don't know if you know Carolina. They had this group called Little Brother.
Oh yeah.
You ever heard of them?
Have I?
Fonte
Yeah.
and Bigelow.
Oh, yeah.
Fonte, yes.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. So look, I was like, because I thought these cats was from New York, but
Right.
when I heard they was from Carolina, and Night Wonder himself was from Carolina, I was like, hold up, these dudes not even from up north or upstate, but they sound better than some of these New York niggas.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I heard that, man. I heard Chitlin Circuit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, this dope for somebody that's from the South.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's considered Midwest or South, but I think it's South.
Yeah, South.
I may be wrong, but
I think
so. Yeah, so I was listening to that and I was like, that's okay. Night Wonder made these dudes beat, and he used to make them so flawlessly. And then, then I found out that he had production on Jay-Z's The Black album.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that right there solidified it. I was like, okay, I know if Night Wonder can make tracks for New York rappers in that time of the era, because back then, New York rappers only fooled with New York producers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when Night Wonder was making tracks for Jay-Z for the Black album, and that was still an era where they didn't want to go outside the box and mess with out-of-state producers or different on the other side of the United States producers and anything like that. So once he broke that barrier for me, I already knew, and like, oh yeah, he's gonna be forever. I'm gonna follow him forever. Every new track he come out with, every new production beat tape, I'm happy, and I have every mixtape he did for people.
That's dope.
When it goes from Rhapsody to Little Brother, all them guys, to even when he did Honey for Erykah Badu, it's, man, that right there, I was like, okay, that's this, yeah, he good. And then he had an interview where he said that his biggest inspiration and the producer that keeps him on his toes was Knots. And so I was like, okay, they got somebody that's better than Night Wonder, let me listen to him.
Yeah.
And I listened to Knots. And I have to say, I want to say he's better than Night Wonder, but if I was Night Wonder, he would keep me on my toes.
Right.
Because the dude, his beats, his kicks, they're like some of the heaviest kicks I ever heard.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm not talking about bass wise. I'm talking about just that gritty, that type, that type of. So,
and he got them gritty basses too.
Yeah, and the gritty bass. I'm like, these guys right here, man. These guys gonna be the ground, gonna be the blueprint of my producing style.
That's dope.
And it
man.
went from them. You got DJ Premier, and you have Yvng, you have oh man, I can't forget this dude, Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla, I cannot forget Jay Dilla. Rest in peace, Jay Dilla. God forgive me for not forget me, but I can't forget Jay Dilla, man. I don't even know how would I even forget him.
You mentioned him, man. He got on the list, so
yeah. Night Wonder, Jay Dilla, and Knots, man. They got a lot of other people, but when it comes to my sound and who I go off of, I go off them three cats, man.
Dope, man. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, I mean, that's a great list right there. And what I like about that list is, I mean, all those guys have been mentioned before, but not Ninth Wonder and not. I mean, they've been mentioned, but not as much as some of the other guys. And I love hearing producers that aren't really mainstream like that. Knots isn't mainstream, neither is Ninth Wonder. And not only that, but both those guys are Southern producers that don't really have a typical Southern sound.
Right.
And so, and that's and when I wasn't surprised when you said those two, because it kind of just aligns with who you are, so.
Exactly.
Dope, man. Okay, well, that's what's up, man. Well, thank you for sharing those, man. Appreciate it. Now, just from hearing those, I can kind of, get more of a grasp of who Yvng Tech is and what his music is like, so.
Right.
And I'm sure all the other beat grinders can too as well. So.
I hope so, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, man. Okay, man. Well, you've been doing this thing for a minute, man. It sounds like you've been on the grind, doing it for a long time here now, man. And I want to know, man, you know, being in this music industry, man, it's not what it seems like, man. It's not always easy. It's not always, you know, a path with roses paved. You know, it's gonna be some hard times, man. It's gonna be some tough dealings in this game, man. And so I'm sure that you've had some major setbacks or failures, man. And I want you to now tell us about a major setback or failure that you've had that you can share with us.
Let me think. Major setback or failure, I would say I had a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I had a deal. Not had a deal. We was in talks when I was interning with Interscope.
Mm-hmm.
They had this A&R at Atlantic who wanted to hear some of my tracks, but the contract I was under, you know, I couldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
And you know, that would cause a lot of problems within the company I was working with my current manager.
Right.
So what happened was that the deal that was with it, you know, they wanted 10 tracks for this artist.
Mm-hmm.
Up and coming artist they was about to put out. And when I tell you who this artist was, you're gonna flip out. And like I said, I always beat myself up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to think like I shouldn't wait for that. Because after that situation happened,
mm-hmm.
everything fell off within the scope.
Oh.
So the guy, you know, he just had signed a deal with Atlanta. He was about to go on this. He had a radio circuit going. He was about to go on this 20-city tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had an upcoming album coming out. Well, yeah, upcoming album coming out, and he was doing songs that he was known for locally.
Okay.
So they needed a producer that wanted to supply him with 10 tracks, 10 original song tracks, you know, nothing that sound like everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was brought to my attention, I told him no, you know, because at the time I didn't want to cause any problems between Interscope and Atlantic.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what happened was that when the guy actually took off, you know, I was just getting some placements myself.
Mm-hmm.
But when I actually heard who the guy was, and matter of fact, I'm going to say the guy's name.
Okay.
The guy was what's his name? He's from ASAP. He's from ASAP Mob. Ferg.
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 Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So when he popped out the way he popped out, I was happy. Right. I was like, congrats, man. That's good, man.
Right.
That's real good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the situation with Interscope happened to where, you know, I found out that money was being stolen from me and everything like that, and it was brought to my attention from somebody from Atlantic.
Wow.
So when I found that out about the situation, I kind of confronted the source. And we had to break all ties. We still friends, but we had to break all ties with that. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, I was with them for almost like 2 years. I didn't know that money was being taken from me. But like I said, I was naive and everything like that. But to tell everybody another lesson, you know, study, you know, it was all a contractual issue, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know, it wasn't no personal thing. It was just one of those things that if you don't know what you're doing or don't know what you're getting into, you know, you can't be mad at that person for messing up because it was actually your fault in the beginning because you didn't actually understand. So yeah, I tell everybody my biggest failure was that I didn't take that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Because I found out that I could have taken that opportunity.
Right, but you just didn't want.
Because I was only an intern.
Right. You just didn't want to have a conflict of interest.
Yeah, but the conflict of interest was void because I was an intern. I was an actual employee there.
Right.
So, you know, and that was in the agreement as well. But I didn't read it. You know, it was in that fine print. but at the same time, tell everybody if they in a business of music and they get into any type of internship or anything like that, read thoroughly so you understand exactly what you're getting into. Because if you don't, and something happens legally, you can't do nothing about it because you didn't understand it, and they took advantage of that. So yeah, man, it's that. And like I said, he was just getting into the game. He was still with ASAP Rocky and everything, but he was just getting into his own. And a couple years down the line, think about it, boom, he blows up the way he did. He started doing songs with Future and stuff like that, and I'll be like, man, that could have been one of my tracks. It could have went off on. But man, it was a lesson learned, and I studied, I did my research on all type of contracts to the point to where I can actually draw up my own contracts. If somebody send me a contract, I can point out discrepancies and everything like that. It ain't that easy to just mess over me again, you know. So well, yeah, man, that's my biggest failure, not taking that chance.
Well, man, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. But the one thing that's encouraging is that, you know, you learned your lesson. You learned, and you went out and you learned how to read contracts, you know, and you know, so that's cool, man. It wasn't just even though it may have sounded like it wasn't a wasted opportunity, because you, in the long run, now you know how to read contracts, you know, and you turned a negative into a positive. So that's what's up, man. Okay, all right. Well, beat grinders, I hope you guys learn from Yvng Tech's lesson. And you guys, you know, don't sign a contract unless you know for sure what you're signing. Go hire a lawyer. You know, it'll be worth it in the long run. So, or hire a lawyer before.
Business attorneys to come through, man. You know, most people don't get them because of, you know, most attorneys, the cost or the retainers and everything like that. But I'm gonna tell you, man, it's worth that investment alone is worth it, because it'll save you a lot of heartache and money in the long run.
Dope, man. Okay, man. All right, man. Well, sorry to drag you through all that, man, and you know, and have you talk about the bad times. But right now, man, we're gonna hop to the opposite side of that, man. We're gonna talk about the good times. So, man, I want to know what's the greatest moment you've had in your career? What do you consider your crowning achievement thus far?
I'll say my crowning achievement would be the moment that it's so many, but I would say my first placement was my crowning achievement, because like I said, I was just a kid from New Orleans, and I was local. Wouldn't like I said, they had people that was in a position way better than I was, and they had people with better connections than I did. The only thing was I took a chance, and you know, after I got my first placement. And like I said, the first placement was with a major artist. It wasn't no anything like that. I wasn't even known. My name wasn't on nobody's radar. Wikipedia didn't know who I was. None of that. I didn't have a deal. I was just a kid out of New Orleans, Louisiana, 17, 18 years old, just doing music. And for some reason, boom, I hear my track on a major song.
Dope, man.
And everything like that.
Okay. And who was that with again?
It was Big Krit.
Okay, that Big Krit was that Big Krit.
Yeah, Big Krit was my major placement. Yeah.
Dope, man. Dope. Okay, that's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, you know, here at Beats Grinding Life, man, we're all striving to be the best that we can, be the best version of who we can. And you know, it seems like you're doing your thing, man. You got placements with other producers. You got songs that are streaming 1 million plays already, man. And so we're trying to be like you, man. Yvng Tech.
I'm trying to get better than that, bro.
I hear you.
Well, yeah, man. I've been in it too long not to, you know, claim a spot. And people been telling me that I should start rapping, but I'd be like, well, producers make more money, which is actually true. We do make more money,
right?
Because of, you know, rappers get the crumbs and everything like that. And most people don't like to hear that, but when you think about it, rappers are the last ones to get paid out of the composers, the producers, the writers, and people like that, because they're gonna always get their money first. The rappers get the whatever's left.
Yep, very
You
true.
know, and that's why rappers be like, you can't live off of rap money because it's really not nothing. At the end of the day, you know, you're gonna always be the last one to get paid, which is
Yep.
another reason. And you know, there's another reason I didn't want to rap was because, you know, I didn't want to put all this money into it and then only see crumbs. But I didn't think like that at the time. Well, now I don't think like that because you gotta spend money to make money, bro. That's just how the game, but that's how the world works, and it's crazy to say it like that, but that's just how the world works. And when I decided to start rapping again, you know, I was in a position to where I can invest in myself like I wanted to.
Right.
You know, most rappers, they have the means, they have the conventional means to do it, but they don't want to do it because they either think it's too much or they're scared. They're gonna feel like they're gonna lose money on bad investments, which is it's not bad to think like that. You know, it's always good to be cautious, but you're never gonna know if you don't try. You know.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, in order to be successful, you have to put money into your brand. You know, nobody starts off with $0 and makes tons of money. You have to put money into yourself, into your brand, whatever you're trying to sell in order to make money. Scared money don't make money, pretty much, you know, and I think Q-Tip said that, and, you know, it's so true.
Right.
So
Right.
true. So, but where I was getting at this, man, was I was saying that, you know, you're doing your thing and we're all trying to do our thing and we're trying to get on your level, man. So if you can tell us what a typical day looks like for you, so that way we can model our day after yours, man, that'd be great. Can you tell us what you do in a typical day?
On a typical day, you know, well, having a family is really not a typical day anymore. But
Right.
on a typical day, let's just say I have a day where I just want to get all of my business done and everything. In the morning, I might make a couple tracks. Just because, or I might have a session, a studio session, or anything like that.
Okay.
Or like I have an interview, I might have an interview. You know, then later on, you know, I go out, so I start networking with different music companies. See what companies that's you know, that's out here promoting people's music and, you know, sponsoring people's music to try to network to get those connections to use them in the future, you know, planting that seed.
Right.
And then like right now, I'm actually in my home studio right now on my mixer. Before you called, I was actually in the process of producing a track and everything like that. Whether I gotta work or not, maybe gotta work. But most of the time, if I have a date to myself or anything like that, you're really not gonna know about it because I'm really gonna be shut in. Really, nobody knows. But I don't really post like that. But when I do post, I want to make sure it's something important that's gonna catch people's attention.
That's dope, meaningful.
But like I said, most of my days consist of music and nothing but music. Whether I'm talking to my manager, and you know, we talk almost every day, basically. If it's not almost every day, it's every day. If it's not every other day, you know, it's something happening. You know, something happening.
Right.
That's how we talk. We don't talk 1 or 2 days out the week between days. Then something's going on with each other, and that's how we communicate. Right. And at the end of the day, I knew by 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, I finish up a last beat, or I finish mixing or mastering, or finish writing, and I do the same thing the day after, and I do it every day after that.
Dope, man. Dope. That's what's up. Okay, well, man, it just sounds like, you know, that's your focus, you know, and you know, like they say, where your focus goes, that's where the energy goes, you know, and so your focus is on music, and you know, and you're only building off of that, man. That's what's up. Okay. And you said you got a family. You have any kids or anything?
Yeah, I have 2 sons.
Dope, man. Dope. Okay. Like you said, man, there's no such thing as a typical day, man. You never know what's gonna go on with them, you know. So gotta deal with the fam, and then deal with music, or deal with music and deal with the fam. So that's what's up.
Right.
Okay, man. All right, man. Well, this next portion of the interview, man, I like to call In the Studio. I wish I could be there in your home studio making beats with you, all the beat grinders. We wish that we could be making. They wish that they could be making beats with you, man. But we can't. That's not possible. You're in Louisiana. I'm in Portland, Oregon. So, but I want to know, man. Not unless we do this Skype session and we making beats. But man, I want to know, man. Yeah. So in this portion, man, we're gonna figure out what goes down in the studio, what you do. So you ready for this? You down?
Okay.
All right, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot.
All right, man. So, what do you do when you first start crafting beats? When you first start making beats, what goes on, man? You got a set ritual?
I listen, man. I take a vinyl album. I put it on the wax. You know, I put the needle on the wax, and I listen. You know, I have to get in a certain type of mode to really just understand what I'm going to create, whether it's for somebody. And any artist that I work with, that'll tell you, they'll come to the studio and sometimes they will get mad because I take 10 minutes listening to albums to get me in that mode. But you know, over time they realize that's my process. Right, you know, everybody got a process. Some people smoke, some people pray, some people exercise before they start producing or creating. Me, my start to my creative process, I start listening to my vinyl albums, man. I don't pick, you know. I just go for it, for my collection, and I grab and I start to listen. Once I know what type of mood I'm in, then, you know, I take out all my equipment, I set it up, and I get to working, man. You know, it ain't, because it's not really, I wouldn't say it's really a, how should I put this? It's not really a process to me as far as what I'm doing, but it's kind of crazy because it's always different, you know.
Right.
Everything I do, every track I make, every time I step in the studio, it's always a different vibe. Nice. But like I said, I have to listen.
Dope, man. I think
anything.
I think Puffy said he went in the studio with Kanye, and this is when Kanye was sampling heavy, you know, and he said he was like, man, what are you doing? Because Kanye was just listening to records, you know. He wasn't even in beat making mode at that time, you know. He just listening to music first to get inspiration, to find samples, you know. And Puffy was ready to go, you know. But yeah, man. I mean, I was the same way for a while when I was just nothing but sampling. You know, I would just listen to music first, you know, just to see what I wanted and don't even worry about the equipment for like an hour or maybe hour and a half, you know, so I can completely understand where you're coming from, man. That's dope, man. Right. That's dope. Okay. And I like the fact that you said that there's a process to it, but it doesn't really feel like a process, which gives you a different feeling each and every day, you know. So, right. Okay, man. All right, man. Well, I want to know, man, in that studio, man, what's a not so secret weapon that you got up in there?
Not so secret weapon?
Some that you can share, but everybody may not know that it's up in there that you use it.
Okay. I gotta be careful how I answer this one. I don't want to give out too much.
Right.
But I would say my secret weapon is I have a Tascam recorder.
Okay.
And that really gives me most of my sound because it's a pocket recorder that records, you know, outside sounds and everything like that. Let's say I might be walking and I might hear a certain sound that I want to hear. All I gotta do is take out the little Tascam recorder, record it, you know, into the high quality wave, and I bring it back to the studio, and that's when I manipulate it. If you go on my website, and I'm a message it to you later.
Okay, but shout it out for everybody listening though. Shout out your website for everybody listening, so they'll know. They can hear.
Oh man, it's I am Yvng Tech.
Dope. Okay.
I am Yvng Tech.yolasite.com, but this is how you gotta spell it though. It's IAMYNVGTECH .yolasite.com.
Okay.
Just like that. And I have a section where I have my beat releases at, and I have certain tracks where I manipulate a certain sound. Most people don't know that one of the sounds of the track is actually just it's actually a horn, a car horn, but I sound designed it and I manipulated it to sound completely different. So that's my secret weapon. I could take an original sound and flip it to make it sound like something else to accommodate what I'm trying to reach. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Right.
Okay, so how much was that sound recorder, if you don't mind me asking, just so that other people and myself.
Man, it wasn't even man, this sound recorder was probably like $110.
Nice,
tops.
Man. Nice, affordable, and I'm sure it was a great investment, huh?
Oh yeah. I still I've been having for like the last 6 years.
That's what's up, man.
Yes, like I said, it's it comes in handy. Most people don't use it because they like you got a hand recorder for it, you got a whole studio with people. I'm a producer. I use everything around me. I can do that, and I can make that into a song if I wanted to.
Right.
So it's I'm a producer. I have to have it because you got most producers that sell these sound packs when in actuality, you can actually go out and make your own sound. Like they got producers that have sounds that sound like pennies and cups.
Yep.
And to people that don't have a producer's ear, they be like, man, that's cool. What is that?
Right.
Man, that's just pennies and cups, bro. That's all that is, man.
Right.
Just pennies and cups, man.
Yep. So the sound packs that these guys are making, you can be making on your own, and you can call it.
Yeah, you can make it on your own.
Yep.
Not taking away, not downing their hustle or taking away from them.
Oh no.
Because in the future, I plan on making my own sound packs for, like I said, most people want beats like me, and I tell them, okay, and they be producing. I'm like, look, in the future, I'm gonna provide a sound pack of my own sounds that I've created from different recordings that I have, and you can make beats like that, And like I said, that goes back to not downing them and everything like that. But you have to understand that most of these sounds are household sounds that they sound designed themselves. You have to have skill to make your own sound. Like when it comes to sound design, it's not as easy as people think it is. It's so many sounds that's out there in the world right now, and for yours to sound nothing like that, you have to do some work. Yeah. Because you might have something that sounds just like this person, but you made it on your own. So you can't really say, okay, people don't think that you copied from them. So yeah, it's not as easy as people think to make up your own sound, which most of the time is why producers take so long to come out with these different sound packs and everything like that, because they have to make sure they're not sounding like everybody else. Right. And that's a process within itself.
Right. And just, as well, good stuff takes time to produce and make, so if something comes out quick, it may not be the best quality, but if it takes time, that person's spending a lot of time creating and crafting it, just making sure that it sounds right, So.
Right.
Okay, man. All right, man. Well, I want to know, what else do you got up in that studio, man? What's all up in your toolbox? What's in your arsenal?
I really work on, like I say, Akai. God's Pro Audio to me.
you still got the 1000?
Yeah, I still got the 1000.
Nice.
I have the 1000, and I have the Akai MPK 45. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The Akai MPK 45. I got the MPK 25. I have a Roland.
Nice.
I have a Korg Triton X7. Nice. Yeah, I have an X7. I have, I have this I have a mixing board. It's a Ramza S840. What it is? A 45 slider mixing board. that I do all of my mixing and stuff on takes hell of a lot of power, and it makes stupid heat. Like, you can't leave it on because your whole house gonna be hot.
Right.
So yeah, it has to be with the VU meters and everything like that. It's too much power. You have to have this grounded battery for it to run.
Wow.
Like this big battery for it to run. What else? I have so much stuff. I have 3 record players. I have a Techniques record player.
Nice.
A lot of Pioneer gear.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff from Native Instruments.
Nice.
And stuff like that.
A lot of software.
Yeah, hell yeah, a lot of software. A whole lot of software. And this goes back to the pros of going to Full Sail. They supply you with a hell of a lot of software.
Right, nice.
Unlimited, unlimited access to software.
Nice.
Their partnership with Avid and Native Instruments and Propeller Head and all that stuff. And if you need something, man, if you're a student, just let them know and they're gonna get it to you.
That's dope. That's nice. Okay. Well, man, it sounds like that studio is full, man, full of stuff that you can just play around with, man. Never a boring day in the studio.
Right.
All right, man. Well, this next portion of the interview, man, we like to call In the Mix. We're going to speed things up a little bit. It's going to be rapid fire, so I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to give me a quick answer. But at the same time, I want you to give me thorough answers. So if you need to take your time on something, man, please do. Okay? All right, man. Do you prefer making beats with samples or without samples?
With samples. No, straight up with samples.
Okay. What's your opinion on selling and leasing beats online?
It's the new age hustle. You know, we get downplayed because they call us internet producers or net producers, but at the same time you gotta understand that the internet was created for people to not be hosted by conventional means like they used to be back in the days.
Right.
So you can't really hate on them for doing what they have where they have access to do.
Right. Yeah, the internet was meant for us to advance. So
Right.
Okay. All right, man. Well, what's a plugin that you think every producer should have in their arsenal?
Waves. If you don't have waves, kill yourself. Real talk. If you don't have waves, kill yourself.
For sure.
You cannot produce or make good music without wave plugins. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. But that's what it is. That's why they sell so much.
Right. I mean, for anything that you need mixing wise, Waves has it. So if you get that bundle, you're definitely set. Any one of their bundles. So. All right.
Exactly.
Beat grinders, go out and get Waves because we don't need you to kill yourself. So, all right, man. Do you have a book that you think every producer should read? And either it can be music related or it doesn't have to be.
Okay, I'm gonna do music related, and I'm gonna do just for consciousness.
Okay.
Music related. Pro Tools for Dummies.
Nice. I had that.
Pro Tools for Dummies, and people don't read it because of the title, but it's actually a good read.
Yeah.
Another one just for conscious minds, for everybody to stay, keep their mind open to anything that's going around the world, or political wise. Read "Behold a Pale White Horse."
Got that one. I had that one. That's a great book, man. That's a and I can't remember the author's name. But is it William? Damn.
William. It's William something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's no longer with us. Rest in peace to him.
And so you guys have to go get it because he's the author of that book, but he really didn't write too much. These are all government documents in full in this book, man. And this a guy that was actually in the army and in service, behind the scenes. So and he has access to the documents and everything like that. So it's a good read for anybody that want to know what's going to be happening in the future,
yeah.
the unknown, and what is being planned for us
Right.
in the future. And unfortunately, he lost his life because he released the book and released the document. So
Exactly. So it's
So
a good,
it's
still
some
a
real
good
shit.
read, man. Make sure y'all read that book, man.
For sure, man. Well, thank you for recommending that. Neither of those books have been recommended on this podcast, and man, but they're definitely must reads, both of them. Especially if you're working on Pro Tools, you need the Pro Tools with Dummies. That helped me get along when I was working on Pro Tools. So,
Right.
okay, that's what's up, man. All right, well, oh yeah, and if you guys need to know how to get the books, I'll post both of those up on the website under Yvng Tech show notes. You can go on there and I'll have a link. So, okay. Is there an internet resource that you use that you think other producers could benefit from, like a website or a mobile app?
Yeah, they can. I use Drum Reserve a lot. They have a lot of nice collections when it comes to samples and everything. Drum Kit Reserve, that's what it's called. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Illmind is one of the ones behind it, and everything like that. If you really want them crisp sounds and everything like that, I definitely go to them, man. They have everything you need when it comes to samples and live instruments, bro. You cannot lose with them.
Nice.
You can't.
Okay.
You can't.
Drum Kit Reserves, y'all. Go check it out. I don't go on there, but I will go on there as soon as this interview is over, and see what they have to offer. So thank you for that, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Anytime.
Right. So, man, we just found out. I don't know if you've been watching the news or not lately, man, but they're gonna tear down the faces on Mount Rushmore, man. And
they went through with it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and they're going down. No more president faces, man. They're putting up producer faces, and they need your input, man. They appointed you, man. They appointed you to put up producers, man. So who are those 4 producers gonna be?
I have to be one of them, man.
Okay.
I have to be one of them. I have to be one of them. But
Nice.
if I was to say, like I told you before, if my face was up there next to 3 other producers, I would say me, Illmind, Knots and Night Wonder. No,
Wow.
me, J Dilla, Knots and Night Wonder.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry.
You forgot.
Don't worry.
You forgot
I still
Dilla
mess
again.
with Illmind. Yeah, I still mess with Illmind. Matter of fact, me on Change EP, me and Illmind got some work going on. I got a track from him that we're gonna be doing some work on and everything like that, and with Sky Zoo and everything like that. So shout out to Illmind, man.
Wow.
I love you, but I don't want you by my face.
Shout out to Illmind, man.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man. Wow. Wow, bro. That's what's up, man. Well, congratulations on that track with Illmind and Sky Zoo, man. You're definitely doing your thing. And also, man, the producers next to you, man, you can't lose with those, man. You got you up there. You got Ninth. You got who else did you say up there? You got Knots. Man, how could I forget Knots?
Knots and J
Dilla, man. Wow. That's what's up, man. Those are all legends, man. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, man, you'll definitely be one of those legends along with them. So, all right, man. Well, where you just exercise your creative muscles, man, and I want you to keep doing that, man. I want you to keep flexing those muscles, man. So, I want you to imagine that you just woke up from a dream. And in that dream, you had the perfect studio session. And you had one artist, one producer to go along with yourself, to co-produce with you, one engineer, and one random person. Who are those 4 people going to be?
Oh, man. Producer-wise, I would want, right now, No ID.
Okay.
He did the whole Jay-Z 444. I want No ID. I want to say Kendrick, but I'm gonna go with my man. J Cole.
Nice. All
I'm
right.
gonna go with J Cole.
Can't lose either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with J Cole. Engineer, I would say I would have to have what's the guy that did Jay-Z's
Guru?
No, not Guru, not Guru, not Guru. The white guy. He did Jay-Z's 99 Questions.
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, yes.
Okay.
I would have to. Rick Rubin, if it was just a random person, I would probably say Kevin Hart because he's funny.
Right.
You know, and it'll be a dope session. It'll be a dope session.
That's what's up, man. You know, somebody else mentioned Kevin Hart just for the same reason. I can't remember who, but that's what's up, man. Right. Kevin Hart, yeah, he's gonna keep the energy going. He's gonna keep you guys laughing, and there won't be a dull moment up in that session, man. And No ID,
right,
how can you go wrong with No ID? You know, that was Kanye's mentor. You know what I mean? And
exactly
coming off of the 444 and you know all the stuff that he does with Vince Staples, and I mean the dude is legendary. So yeah, man.
Oh man.
And Rick Rubin.
Man, I'm looking forward to the little project he doing with Kanye West and Common, man. That Juan.
Wow.
The Juan EP. So yeah.
Wow. I didn't. Yeah. I'm just finding out about this. I didn't know about that.
Not, you know, it was just one of those things. It's public, but it's just one of those things. Like when Jay-Z did Magna Carta Holy Grail. You know, it was public, but didn't nobody know. Right,
it wasn't like official.
That Jay-Z can make something public, but still nobody knew.
Right,
like he made an app to decode his album. That's how crazy it is. It's kind of like that.
Right, man. Right. Well, man. Well, I mean, this sounds like a studio session that's definitely worth dreaming of. You know what I mean? So, I mean, hopefully, you know, all those guys are active. All those guys are still doing their thing with music. So hopefully, you know, it can come true one day. J. Cole, you, Rick Rubin, No ID, and Kevin Hart. That's dope, man.
Exactly.
All right, man. Well, I want to know, what's your favorite song that you ever produced?
My favorite song, whether it's for another artist or for me.
Period, man. Just your favorite song or beat that you ever made.
Right now, it would have to be for a good friend of mine named Sick Hop Ra. He has now I'm not gonna say the track because it's an unreleased track, but right now he has the best track I ever produced right now to this day.
Okay.
And that he rapped. Like I said, I listened to the track the other day, and it's fire.
Well, I can't wait to hear it, man. Will he release it soon, do you think?
I don't know. He's one of those mysterious artists as well, but you know, when he does releases it, you know, it's hot. You know, you can follow him on the gram, man. You know, he is just Sick Hop Ra.
Okay.
And you know, you can see his progress is what he's doing. You know, sometimes I know he had a studio session today with a track I sent him. It was another cool track that I sent him, but last track I heard from him, man, that was the coldest beat I ever made. The coldest beat I ever made. When it comes to, I wouldn't say it's the best beat commercial wise that I made, but when it comes to my style, and you know, I'll say, yeah, he takes my beats and he flames them.
That's what's up, man. Well, I can't wait to hear it, man. Hopefully, when he releases it or right before he releases it, man, you can let me know, and I can let the rest of the beat grinders know, and we can be on the lookout.
Oh man, I can do that, no problem at all.
Cool, man. Cool. Okay. Well, what's an album besides one of your own that you recommend every producer should listen to, and why?
I think every producer. Well, first, I think every producer should listen to. Let's see. Think. It's so many. They got so much good music, but I wanna choose one that actually has a you know. Matter of fact, every producer should listen to Sho Baraka's album called The Narrative.
Okay.
You know, he's a Christian rapper, but his new album called The Narrative, you know, it kind of takes a twist. It takes a twist on it, and you know, it doesn't really have all that God in it. It really talks about real life stories, and he names his songs, and he makes up a scenario with the year he thinks it happened. Like he had this one, he had this song called "The Narrative," 1967. You know? And it's from beginning to end. The production is crazy though. You know, it's one of those albums that the flow is fluid. You cannot skip a song. If you skip a song, you're not gonna understand the album. You're not gonna understand why it's called The Narrative.
Wow.
You know, so that's one I would recommend to everybody. Show Barack is The Narrative, man. You have to go listen to that on iTunes.
Show Barack. What is how do you spell that?
Show Baraka. That's SHO BARAKA.
Okay, Show Baraka. Nice. I'm gonna look out for that, and I'm gonna have a link for it under your show notes. So Beat Grinders, if you want to hear it, if you want to check it out, I have an iTunes link for it, and you can go listen to it on iTunes. Okay, man. Well, I want to know, man, if you woke up tomorrow and you lost everything that you had except for your knowledge and $1,000, what would you do in the next week to restart your career?
Invest. That's probably the smartest thing you can do at that point.
What'd you say?
Invest.
Oh, okay. Okay. You take that $1,000 and just invest it.
Just invest it and flip it. Nice. Because you lost everything, right? So now you got to start over. If you're smart enough, you know, you would take that and you would invest in it. So I'm not saying you can. It's when I say investment, I mean investment as in a whole, not just, you know, put your money in here and wait years for it to see it flip. You can invest in something. You can invest in if you're doing music, invest in, you know, a sponsor. You can invest in a feature. Invest in something that's going to last in the long term. Don't just take it and be like, okay, this is my last $1,000. I don't have enough. I'm depressed. Let me go below this. Because I've seen people do that. Right. I've seen people take $10,000 and it'll be gone in like a couple weeks because they wasted it on dumb stuff. Right. You know. Yeah. So you know, you get in. Because I don't remember. My internship wasn't free. I had to invest to even step foot in the door. Wow. And that's another thing people have to understand is that people have this illusion or this mindset that you could just get into the industry like that.